Amina was born into a life of wealth and comfort in the bustling city of Lagos, Nigeria. Her father, Alhaji Musa, was a successful businessman who owned multiple companies, and her mother, Hadiza, was a well-known philanthropist. They lived in a grand mansion in Ikoyi, surrounded by luxury. Amina was their only child, and they showered her with love and care. But life can be cruel. When Amina was just 10 years old, her parents died in a tragic accident on the Third Mainland Bridge. One moment, she had everything. The next, she had nothing. After her parents' burial, her father's younger brother, Suleiman, took her in. As her only surviving male relative, he was supposed to protect her. But instead, he saw her as a burden and an opportunity. Suleiman seized all of Alhaji Musa's properties, businesses, and bank accounts. He moved into the family mansion, claiming everything as his own. "You are just a child," he told Amina coldly. "You own nothing here." His wife, Mariam, treated Amina even worse. "You will earn your place in this house," she sneered. "No one is going to feed you for free." From that day on, Amina was turned into a maid. While her cousins, Suleiman's children, attended the best private schools in Lekki, wore designer clothes, and had drivers to take them everywhere, Amina spent her days scrubbing floors, washing clothes, and cooking meals she was barely allowed to eat. Her cousins, Zainab and Abdul, never missed a chance to mock her. "Look at you, Amina," Zainab said one morning as she adjusted her expensive school uniform. "From a rich girl to a housemaid. How does it feel?" Abdul smirked. "Maybe one day you'll thank our parents for letting you stay here. Otherwise, you'd be on the streets begging." Amina bit her lip to stop the tears from falling. She wanted to scream, to tell them that this was her house, her father's wealth, but she knew no one would listen. If you find this video interesting, kindly subscribe and hit the notification button to be the first to see our videos. One evening, after an entire day of housework, she sat in the kitchen, exhausted and hungry. She saw a small piece of bread on the counter and reached for it. Just as she was about to take a bite, Miriam stormed in. "You thief!" Miriam shouted, slapping Amina so hard that she fell to the floor. "Auntie, I was hungry," Amina whispered, holding her cheek in pain. Miriam's eyes blazed with anger. "You ungrateful rat. Suleiman, we have had enough of this girl." Suleiman walked into the kitchen, his face filled with disgust. "Get out of my house," he bellowed. Amina's heart pounded. "But where will I go?" "That is not our problem," Miriam said coldly. Without another word, they dragged her to the front door and threw her outside. The grand mansion, once her home, was now closed to her forever. Lost and afraid, Amina wandered the streets of Lagos. The city was unforgiving, cars sped past her, street vendors ignored her, and she had nowhere to turn. That night, she curled up on a bench at a park in Victoria Island, hungry and scared. The next morning, as she walked aimlessly, she heard a familiar voice. "Amina." She turned to see her best friend, Fatima, stepping out of a black SUV. Fatima was the daughter of Chief Umar, a powerful businessman in Lagos. Fatima gasped when she saw Amina's dirty clothes and tired eyes. "What happened to you?" Amina broke down in tears and told her everything. Fatima ran home and told her father. Chief Umar was furious. "How can a man steal from his own niece?" he thundered. That same day, Chief Umar stormed into Suleiman's house with his lawyers and security team. "You stole from this child and threw her out like garbage," Chief Umar roared. "You will pay for this." Suleiman and Miriam tried to argue, but Chief Umar silenced them with one look. "Amina is coming with me," he declared. "And soon, the law will deal with you." Chief Umar took Amina into his home, treating her like his own daughter. He sent her to one of the best private schools in Lagos, ensuring she had everything she needed. Amina worked hard, determined to prove everyone wrong. She excelled in school, went to university, and became a top lawyer. With Chief Umar's help, she took her uncle to court. After a long legal battle, the judge ruled in her favor. Amina Musa is the rightful heir to her parents' estate, the judge declared. Suleiman and Miriam lost everything. Their wealth was stripped away, and they were forced to leave the mansion. They moved into a small, run-down apartment in Ajigona, a poor part of Lagos. Zainab and Abdul, who once mocked Amina, now struggled. They could no longer afford their expensive lifestyles. One afternoon, as Amina was leaving her law firm, she saw two familiar figures standing outside, Suleiman and Miriam. They looked frail, their expensive clothes replaced with worn-out fabric. "Amina, please," Suleiman begged, his voice weak. "Forgive us." Miriam wiped her tears. "We were wrong, my daughter. Please, help us." For a long moment, Amina said nothing. These were the same people who threw her out with nothing. The same people who let her starve and suffer. But Amina was not like them. She had grown into a strong, kind woman. "I forgive you," she finally said. "But I can't erase what you did." She gave them some money to survive but made it clear that she wanted nothing more to do with them. This is what greed does, she thought as she walked away. As Amina focused on her career, she met Idris, a wealthy and kind businessman. Unlike other men, he wasn't intimidated by her success. He admired her strength. "You are the strongest woman I know," he told her. Their friendship grew into love, and soon Idris proposed. Their wedding was the talk of the city, a grand celebration of love, resilience, and justice. As Amina stood in front of her reclaimed mansion, she looked up at the sky and whispered, "Mama, Papa, I made it." She had suffered. She had fought. And she had won. Now, she was finally home.